The Jazz were looking for their first 2-game win streak of the season, but Victor Wembanyama is, in fact, an alien. And the Jazz lose to the Spurs. We're talking about next on POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
David Locke with Ron Boone after the San Antonio Spurs beat the Utah Jazz 128-115, a game closer than the score. Victor Wembanyama's 34 headlines it. I'm going to start from a Jazz perspective. I feel funky about this game, Ron, because there was a lot of really good stuff, and I think Will Hardy's used the line a lot. It was more good basketball than bad basketball. The only thing I would say is I thought the bad basketball tonight was so bad.
So bad, yeah, I agree.
That it is tarnishing my ability a little bit to kind of go back and dive into the first quarter by Keyonte when he was so good, or the second quarter with Bryce Sensabaugh when he was so good, or before his injury that Lauri Markkanen had hit 2 turnaround jumpers tonight on developmental things. There are lots of things tonight to dive into that are good positive signs, but boy, 21 turnovers. I don't know the final number if you have a fourth quarter only. I think they give up 9 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter alone. 8's the final number, but one of them went out of bounds, so 9. Some of that stuff, long bounces, this and go get the beeping ball.
Let me ask you this, because that first half was some great shooting. Was it because of some great plays we made? That's the great Thurl Bailey, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you can be. No, I want to hear the. You want to. You can join in on this debate. Here, Thurl. I want your thoughts because you're the most happy, friendly, nicest person. Okay, our discussion right now is that there are plenty of positives for us to grab onto tonight, but that the bad was so bad that it's hard for us to go back. At least for me, I'm speaking for myself, to go back to grasp some of those positive moments because the ugly was horrifically ugly.
Yeah, but the biggest ugly was just, 33 points off turnovers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's. But it's not like we haven't seen it before, and it comes with, inexperience. But you're going to turn the ball over. You just can't do it in bunches. So, what do? You move on tomorrow night. You can't. You can't do it against Denver.
No.
They're going to make you pay.
Well,
early.
And Denver's not going to be very happy because they allowed 145 points in their last game.
But we can win that game.
So we got a feisty Denver team. All right.
So my point was this: did we see some?
Got interrupted by the nicest
Did we see
man in the world.
some great plays that led to some good shooting, or was it just some good shooting? And what I took away from that first half may have been close to one of the better shooting quarters or shooting halves that we've had all season long. And I think mainly because since the ball was able to catch fire, Keyonte made some tough shots.
So that's super interesting you say that. I'm interrupting you for a reason, not just because I always do that to you. Because Scott Morrison at halftime, in an interview you did not hear.
Correct.
That's what he said. When I asked a very positive, tilted first question of, hey, really great offensive first half, he was like, we shot it well.
Ooh, okay.
And then we turned it over too much. And so I think you're dead on that. As good as the first half felt, the coach's viewpoint would probably be, we shot it well.
Yeah. And there's a big difference. But if you don't shoot it well, you're not in the ball game.
Right. We kind of
look at it that way
the other
as
night
well.
We beat the Knicks because we shot 58% from 3.
Exactly.
Right. So we can't just decide that shooting it well is not allowed. In fact, Bryce, we can be let's talk about Bryce Sensabaugh for a second. We can all talk about the fact that Bryce Sensabaugh needs to be better defensively. You know how Bryce Sensabaugh is going to stay in this league?
Shooting.
Right.
Shooting.
Let's be he needs to be better at those other things.
Yeah.
But if Bryce Sensabaugh shoots 40% from 3, which I think coming into tonight he was at 41%, and tonight he goes 4 for 7. He's going to get about 44-45% from 3.
No, he was more from that, wasn't he?
For 3 is 4 for 7.
Oh, yeah, because he missed. Yeah. He went 0 for 3 in the second half.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say he shoots 45% from 3. Okay, that's really valuable. That's Gary Trent Jr., right? Then he's Gary Trent Jr., who is a horrific defensive player that Milwaukee took out of the starting lineup because he's such a bad defense player. So it's preventing Gary Trent from being an NBA starter, but he shoots 40% from 3. He's going to play. Now, frankly, Gary Trent only got a minimum salary this year, so maybe he does need to learn some more things. But, like, on that sense, like Bryce Sensabaugh, the shooting really matters.
Yeah, it definitely does. And he had turnovers there as well. So you're absolutely right about his shooting. If he doesn't get better at handling the basketball and making better decisions, that's going to be such a key, not only with him, but with this team. Making better decisions, especially with the basketball. Lazy passes, taking chances with some passes. I keep bringing this up, with passes that are made when there's a skeleton offense.
Yeah, no, they throw too many passes as though the coaches are guarding them in practice.
Yes, there we go.
That is the way to say
of putting it. Right.
Just to give credit where credit is due tonight. Lauri Markkanen, 3 turnovers. John Collins, 3 turnovers. Walker Kessler, turnover. Keyonte George, 6. Isaiah Collier, 1. Right? Yeah, almost. Isaiah's all came in, or Keyonte, 5 of Keontae's 6, if not all 6, came in the second quarter alone, I think. Drew Eubanks, 4, and Bryce Sensabaugh, 3 to get to 21 collective turnovers tonight. It was a group effort on that regard. All right, let us go to a few positives. There's a big negative, by the way. Lauri injured his knee tonight. Left knee contusion. I would guess there'll be an MRI on that tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then that'll let us know what happened. He got caught on the inside of the knee by Victor Wembanyama on a drive, and it didn't look super.
When you see something like that and you see a player and the first thing he does is grab the knee, then you know that there was some pain there.
And the reaction from him was not great either. He was certainly in a good deal of pain. All right, let's go to those positives. Keontae's first quarter was his career high points in a quarter, and I thought it was another stretch where he really looked about as good as we can see him. He played confidently. He made great passes. Like, it's all there. Like, he is these flashes matter. I look at his overall shooting percentage. It's not good enough. It's problematic. Tonight he ends up finishing 9 of 16, so that's great. And he hits his 3, 6 of 12. It's not necessarily a sustainable model to go 6 of 12. But the other fact of this is he is having stretches of basketball. It was 5 plays in a row against the Clippers the other night. Tonight it was a quarter. Like this, and he's the best player on the floor for these stretches.
So a player like him, I think, if he averages 18 points a ball game, but he can average 6 or 7 assists a ball game, now you're looking at a solid player because he does have the shooting ability to shoot a good percentage. You get a couple of layups in there, but you're making your teammates better, making good decisions. I think that is a Keyonte that I would like to see with the Jazz.
Lauri Markkanen, I did a little bit of this on the podcast today, has been on fire. Tonight numbers weren't as good. But one of the things that's actually gotten way better is that, he's getting more threes, he's getting stuff in transition, but also the isolation. There had been an uptick. I went and broke it down for the first part of the season. The second, it's not a huge uptick, but it's up. But tonight, we may not see Lauri for a little while, but he had 2 shots tonight where he got the ball on the block on the right angle, which I had not seen him do a lot of, and hit beautiful turnaround jumpers on an isolation post-up.
Yeah, and that's what you mean by turnaround jump shots. He's turning over that left shoulder from about 8 or 9 feet away, maybe 10 feet away, which is, I think, is a tough shot. And I've always thought that you got to be special. Michael Jordan could make that shot. Kobe Bryant could make that shot. And we saw
Dirk
Lauri.
Nowitzki.
And Dirk. You're turning over your left shoulder. That means you got to turn and be square to the basket. A lot of guys, when they shoot going left, your shoulders don't necessarily have to be square. But when you turn over that left shoulder, you got to square those shoulders in order to get a good look.
So I thought John Collins, I think Will Hardy said it well pregame tonight. I think it was postgame the other night. Sorry, I watched Will Hardy. I'm having a hard time. I literally watched Will Hardy's postgame the other night right before we went to Will Hardy's pregame, and I can't remember which is which. But I think it was Will Hardy the other night postgame talking about John Collins, and he said, like, I have nobody on this team who I'm more certain of what I'm getting out of every night. Just pure, like we talk about our reliability pluses, like effort, energy, desire. Like John Collins is really, I have been won over by John Collins' nightly effort and the authenticity of that nightly effort.
And I've always been a fan. I think his effort out there on the floor, the way he works very, very hard. He's 6'9". He probably weighs 100 pounds. No, I'm sure he weighs more than that. But and he rebounds with the best of them in the league. Jumps quick, and he gets good shots. I mean, I don't know if the defense is playing off of him to the point where, you're going to be 3 feet off of me. I'm going to shoot the basketball. But most of his shots are, I think, good. Sometimes he tries to, like tonight with Wemmy. I mean, you're not going to overpower him or shoot over the top of him down in the paint. And sometimes that gets in the way.
All right. Tonight was it didn't seem to have the emotion that I expected it would have for the end of the black and yellow in Salt Lake City. We will never see the Jazz wear the black and yellow ever again.
Collectors
in Salt Lake City. Tonight was the final night ever. Every night for the rest of the year at home is purple. I have to just show them. I'm going to hurt myself here. Ooh, oh, they can't. There they were. Oh, I might have pulled a hammy there. Here, let's get up higher. There they were, custom made, just because we went to these colors. Now, without a home, except for road games. I'll wear them on road games. All right, so I want to rely. Wow, I really might have pulled a quad right there. What do we got? Who you got? Are those your?
I'm going to go with the starting five tonight. I'm going to go with the starting five.
I have
again.
one more I want to give out tonight.
And Sensabaugh?
No. Oh, yeah, you give Sensabaugh. All right, so you have Lauri, John Collins. You give Walker Kessler one tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a tough job.
Yeah. Colin Sexton, Keyonte George.
And that's not because of the points. I mean, I just thought that,
Okay.
I like
all right, we're not discrediting Lauri, John, or Keyonte for their 3, 3, and 6 turnovers? Nope. Okay, that's fine. I just want to propose that possibility.
John, see, Keyonte had 6 in the first half. He didn't have any in the second half.
All right. You have Bryce Sensabaugh. I agree. I think for what he has to offer in his game right now,
in a short period of time,
I think that Isaiah Collier deserves a reliability plus tonight. He is not. If we're waiting for him to make jump shots, we're never ever going to give him a reliability plus. He does not have a shot. So what he has to bring to the office is defense, passing, speed, and energy. And I thought he brought all 4 tonight.
Okay, you can give him that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're giving out 7 tonight.
7 tonight.
And I'm going to be watching him from this point on.
Okay.
Because if he's not going to be able to make an open jump shot.
Yeah, he can't.
That is it's
not right now.
It's a liability.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Right now,
okay. I'm talking about a 15-footer.
Yeah. So that's why he went 29th.
Okay.
Right? No, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
If you have that speed, that strength, that vision, and you can hit a jump shot, you go 10th.
Okay.
Right?
Let's do
Then
that.
you're Stephen Castle.
Let's do that.
Right?
Okay.
Right? Don't you agree with me?
Yeah.
Like
all right.
Stephen Castle went 4th in the draft. Isaiah Collier went 29th. It's not like 26 teams missed something. There was a flaw that they decided was going to be a liability in his NBA career, so he went 29th. That's his shooting. Hopefully he figures it out. All right. Jazz lose tonight. Might be without Lauri for a little while. Didn't feel good. So we'll see how that plays out. Denver tomorrow. Jazz Nuggets. We'll be back with you. Have a great one. See you. Thanks for tuning in. On the national channel, or if you're – no, actually, I'm not sending you anywhere. But go check it out at Locked On NBA. It's a 24/7 national. It should be up on Amazon Fire TV as well now. So check that out. Have a great one.